Hi everybody, live from San Diego, California. I'm Sandra Younger, inventor of a cord knotting and design tool called the Knotty-Do-It-All. And today we have this really cool lesson. I'm going to concentrate mostly on the earrings. So I'm going to make the earrings first because I think they're like it's something that's new and they're probably a little more tricky than the necklace and the bracelet. And this show is so cool because you can actually shop the show. You can ask questions. So I honestly, I do try to see, I see Ella and Susanna. Look at the comments and questions down below, and I promise I do try to answer. If you have a pressing question and I don't manage to answer, just email me and I will answer your question. Excuse me. I've got sniffles. So you might see a little, hang on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Anyway, I will show you the products on today's show, then we'll get to the customer show and then the lesson. So just bear with me while I sneeze. All right, here are the products. Okay, so here are a few of the items that are on today's show, but the star of the show is honestly are these orange garnet 6mm faceted round. And what's so interesting about them is that they, considering that they are so tiny, I mean, they've got a relatively big hole. I ended up using all of them, so I didn't get a chance to measure them. But you know what? Maybe I have one here. I found one. Only because it was dark and I thought it was really cool. You know what? Let's measure that hole. I'm going to guess that it's about, I don't know. But it was pretty big. So let's see what it measures at. Just so you guys know. Because I thought it was 2mm. Okay. That is... You don't find a 6mm bead with a 2mm hole very often. And that is why, I was able to use the thicker Hawaiian twist cord, and it just gives it it's a small bead with a chunky look. I mean, that's like my dream when, I don't know how to explain it, but because if the bead holes had been a lot smaller, I would have had to use a thinner cord, and it wouldn't have this this look to it. So, so that was a really important thing when I was deciding what project to do, because I don't even know how to explain it. You only have one strand and you want to make the most of them. And I thought that, if I did like spaces and, just left it simple, that I can get the most use out of this, a beautiful strand of beads. So 2mm hole, that's crazy. And there aren't very many left. So if this is something that you want, because the last time I checked, there were 26, and then I checked again and they were down to 18. So they might sell out by the end of this show. They're really just beautiful. And then the next product we have is the this waxed cord. And I like this. If you don't have it, this is one of the, it's always on my workbench. I use this cord all the time. It's, the neat thing about it is you can melt the ends. You can use it for macrame binding knots. It splits easily, and it's really fantastic for a variety of different techniques. Braiding is one of my big favorites. In macrame, micro macrame, if you split it, because this cord does split really easily. So if you need a thinner version, then it's pretty easy to split. I think I have a video on my website that shows how to split this. It's pretty quick, pretty easy. And then what I do is I just wrap it on little those little paper or plastic bobbins that you can get at your craft store. And let's see, next, ooh, these are really cool. Okay, at first, I thought these would look good at the end of, bracelet, end of necklace, but this necklace, I know it's got the one with the black. I'll tell you what happened here. I had made this necklace, it was finished, had the macrame slide knot. And, I just got some random necklace that I had, that had a bunch of stuff on it like this. And I just grabbed one of these, just the baubles that were on there, and I put it on the necklace, and it looked like this originally. It was like this. And since I already had finished it, I had to remove the slide knot, and then I put these beads on, and it ended up looking so nice together. I really, really like the way it looks. It gives it more of a, I don't know, just like this timeless vintage, I don't know how to explain it, feel. And of course, I had to come back, and since it made it shorter, because I had to put these knots in here, and plus I had to cut the ends and redo them. I had to like switch over to a teeny weeny little coil knot. So if I know I did get a question. Someone asked me like, why this one was different. That is why it's different, because I had to redo it. But I really like the color combination. It just, for me, it just works. I think it's just, love it. And you get 40 of these, and they're very, like, they're heavy. They've got like heft to them, and I think you'll really like them. And then this is the other set of the stainless steel over gold. I know I've used these in the past. I didn't use them on this show, but this one you get, they all match. You get a set of 80, and let's see how big the holes are on this set. I should have measured them. I always measure everything, and then I forget to like include it in after I do my little graphic. And this is a JM kit. Let's see, 2317. So let's measure this one. Ooh, that's a 4mm hole. Let's make sure it's zeroed out. Yep, 4mm. It's pretty big. So this is you could probably get like two, like if you're working with leather, two strands of leather would, like two 1mm strands of leather will go through here. And even like I don't know, snake knot bracelet. I think that it's got like a masculine look. So I'm thinking, of different things you could do with these. And then the honey spice. These were interesting. I made a necklace, and it just went funny. I got to figure out how to fix it. I don't know what I was thinking. Let's see. Let me show it to you. So this is my crazy, I don't know what I was thinking, necklace. Originally what I wanted to do is have like these beads like tiered, like dangling, but I had put this little bead right here, and I liked it, but for some reason it messed up my plan, and then I don't know what happened. But then I tried to fix it by putting a ring on it. I think what I'm gonna do, I think I might take this off and then put, I don't know, maybe these guys wire up. It just kind of like, I just think it looks funny. I mean, look at that. It's just kind of like sticks out. I don't know. I think I'm going to end up cutting that off, and yeah, I don't know. I'll come up with a plan, but I really did like the way it looked knotted. It just has like I mean, when they say it's spicy, I mean, is that what it says? I think it's, it says honey spice. Hey, when I first saw them, I didn't even look at what they were called, and I'm like, ooh, those are spicy. And honey spice, I mean, they couldn't come up with a better name for these, and they are an 8x12 barrel shaped, and the hole is a little bit over 1.1, so that's how I was able to get the the 1.1mm Hawaiian twist cord in there, because and you get 2 strands, and they're 14 to 15 inches long. And our last products. This is a cord knotting and design tool that I invented. This is a Knotty-Do-It-All, and it really saves you time with the cost of silver. I know a lot of silversmiths are scrambling to find like ways to save money. And if you think about it, you can like make part of your necklace or bracelet with leather. I do like have a bunch of tips and tricks and ideas for incorporating leather into sterling silver, so that besides, I mean, you save a lot of money with the price of sterling silver right now. I mean, people are going to start like working with stringing materials, whether it be silk, leather. And this board, I tell you, it's got you covered. And it's got the rulers in both inches and centimeters. So like when you're working, it keeps track of your measurement while you work. I mean, it's really hard to mess up a measurement when you're using this. I mean, I rarely, if ever, do I like miscalculate the length of something. And one thing that's really cool about the big board is this video that I have here. I mean, you can loom with this tool. You can make something long. I mean, probably with the short board, you can make something like, like shorter. But one thing that I like is I can make it long. And, I don't know if I'm like showing you guys some of the loom things that I've made, but it does make it like really fast and easy. And, it's just fantastic. And we do have our little board. And this one is fantastic, like for travel, small spaces. And you can also use it like side by side with your big board, because there have been times where I've made like really long, like multi-strands, especially like for ladder bracelets. You want to do like a 6-wrap, side by side is the way to go. And both boards include the instructional DVD and an ebook. You get all your lessons online. There are like, let me see, tons of lessons online. I have under Knotty Lessons, which you do get a password for. There are like dozens of downloadable, and I want to stress that because a lot of you are traveling and you need your lessons. You can download them to your phone, to your iPad, to your laptop computer, and I offer different resolutions, and I would use the middle one for if you're doing it like to an iPhone or an iPad, the middle resolution. But if it's a desktop computer, I offer full resolution, closed captions, like on the videos. You could slow them up, slow them down to like half the speed, and you can speed them up to like ×2, whatever, to double the speed. And also when you look at the videos, there's like little icons on the bottom, and you could get the transcripts as well. So if you want to read what I'm saying on the side, you can generate a transcript. So there are a lot of lessons. And if you ever have any questions, you need any help with anything, you can email me and I will be more than glad to help. This board makes a fantastic tool. A fantastic tool. I meant to say a fantastic gift. So if you have a birthday present you need to give somebody, or, in this day and age, teenagers just, they're stuck on their phone. They need like a cool hobby. And I think that they would love one of these boards. Anyway, guys, that is everything on today's show. And if you see anything you like, grab it. And, I know I don't have these guys here, but the orange garnet, but grab them because they really like have the most incredible, beautiful, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I absolutely love them. Anyway, those are the products. Aren't the garnets so pretty? They have like this, I know that I shop for my online store, but once in a while I'll find like a product. And several years ago I found some beads just like that, but they were like a coin shaped. And I must have bought like 80 strands, and I loved them so much I couldn't bring myself to put them on my store because they were vintage. The guy that I bought them from, he was going out of business, and I knew that I would never find them again. So, I was really like happy when these came by. And, when I saw the inventory, I was expecting like several hundred, but they're like 26. And then, it went down to 18. So if you really like them, get them. And I didn't show you guys, I also made these earrings with the spicy honey like beads, but aren't they cute? They came out like, they're so pretty. And I'd say I think it's got 4 beads, and they're not heavy. So, what I was trying to do is I was trying to like make like duster earrings, and I thought, you know what, it's probably not a good idea, because one time I did make those, and I don't know, I bent down to pick up something and it hit me on the tooth, and I thought, you know what, I don't want my beautiful like tooth to get like chipped. So don't make them to where they'll like hit you in the mouth. Anyway, we have our fantastic customer show, and then we'll do our beautiful project. All right, first we have Laura Lee, Florida. Oh my goodness, look at this beautiful necklace. Okay. Laura Lee had emailed me, and she said that her and her daughter were having like short or long. And, you know, when she told me the price of the pearls, I thought, you know what, short, but she opted for long. And look at the, I have this one on a black background. Look how beautiful this necklace is. And I did a custom order this week, and my customer wanted something with like evenly spaced beads but I put the little gold beads on, to the left and to the right of each bead, and she ended up really liking it. So those, those little touches just give it just like so much sparkle. Very pretty. And then next we have Sarah, North Carolina. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got that macrame. I remember that lesson, kind of, sort of, the one on top where, I don't know, I just kind of alternated the macrame in a, just an unusual way, and they just like produced like a different pattern. And I was really intrigued, Sarah, with the one with the blue beads, because, like, where does it end? I mean, the beige leather is what inside the macrame. I'm like, that's so pretty. I really like that. Then the one on the bottom, it's got the coil knots on like a single strand, and then it's got like that's so pretty. And I like the button, very pretty. And Arizona. Oh, okay. I've got a close-up of this, but God, look at the detail. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And look at here's a close-up. Wow. I mean, if I did something like this, I think I would literally have to like make a knot on one side, then the other, then the other, then the other, just to like make sure that I didn't mess up the pattern, because that's why when I make something like this, it's like quote unquote abstract, because I don't have this skill yet, but I look forward to the day that I do, because this is just beautiful. And then next we have Anne, Arizona, another one. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's a necklace and a cuff bracelet. And I do have a close-up of the cuff right here. Oh, wow. And I like the color choices, the blue and, I mean, it's like a tiger eye. I don't know, are those actually a tiger eye, Anne, or is it like a Picasso? Because I know that there's a Picasso glass bead, like a check glass bead that looks like tiger eye. But only because it's got blue in there. And I don't think I've ever seen blue tiger eye, but that's really, really nice. Oh my goodness. Wow. Then next, let's see, we have Sarah, North Carolina. Okay, this is like a slight variation on last week's lesson, where it's got like a added crisscross in there. 2 thumbs up, came out absolutely perfect. And I like the button's probably on the bigger side, right, Sarah? So now it's really nice that you have that sliding knot. So, if you do use a large button, you don't have such a big loop. You can close it. So that's I really like the coil knot for that. And then we have Anne, Arizona. Oh my goodness, look at this one. How do you know, like, how to do this? I'm just like, it's got the slide knot. It's got the like the little beads on the end. Beautiful. And next, ooh, Michelle Houston. I was really intrigued by this bracelet because, honestly, I don't think I've ever even seen yellow leather. And this one has a real like tropical vibe. It just makes me want to go on a tropical vacation. And it reminds me of what's that? There's a flower, a hibiscus. But or a rose, but beautiful. It's just like stunning. Like, can you imagine like having that on your wrist? Just beautiful, really striking. That's what I like about this one. And then next, Jess, South Dakota. Okay, so this bracelet, I took a closer look, which we have another angle on here. Let's see, this one's next. But look at the okay, so you did on one of the strands, the ladder with 2 colors. That's really clever. I've never done that. And then the macrame, the spiral macrame, and I've done, macrame with like 2 colors, like let's say a blue on one side, a black on the other, and it makes an interesting pattern. But I never done the coil version with 2 different colors, and that is how it looks, guys. Really, really pretty. And let me go back here. And these are glass Padre beads. I don't know what a Padre bead is, but I should look it up. But look at, I just love that color. I mean, blue is my weakness. A man-made hematite and porcelain and glass beads. Okay, so let's see, glass Padre beads. Hmm. Okay, I see the hematite. Okay, let me go to the next picture because I'm not seeing the porcelain. Maybe the button and the glass. Mm, let's see. Okay, maybe it's those blue. Okay, I see the blue, the glass. Maybe it's those beads there that are kind of like grayish. Oh yeah, that must be them. Okay, beautiful. And then next we have Anne, Arizona. Oh, this is so pretty, so simple, dainty. I love the color combination. The it looks like a lagoon with maybe like an agave colored cord. I like the teeny weeny little transitions, like right to the left and the right. Those little touches, they make such a big difference. Like when you're making a bracelets like this. I mean, you get those little, just I don't know what the little accent colors. It just really adds to a piece. And then, okay, here's another picture of the bracelet from earlier that Laura Lee sent in. Look how pretty. Oh, I mean, whoever gets this necklace is going to absolutely love it. And, it's possible that it could actually maybe be wrapped several times to be worn into a bracelet, but it looks like it's got smoky quartz, amethyst, like those really pretty pearls. Maybe I'm looking at some labradorite and maybe tourmaline. My goodness, wow. And next we have Anne, Arizona. This is like a ladder bracelet, and I really like stacking beads on ladder bracelets. I mean, sometimes it can be a little bit tricky, to get the stack beads like the right like height to the like the other beads, like the round ones that are in there. But looks like you nailed it because sometimes mine have like dips and it gets like a wavy look if you don't get it right. But I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just, I was impressed that this one was like exactly like right. So I'm gonna guess that the dark color beads are 8 millimeter and the rondelles are 4, maybe. My guess. And here's a really pretty necklace that Jess in South Dakota sent in. It's really dainty, and I got to thinking, with the price of sterling silver these days, because it is like through the roof. Like something like this where the little rings are, to like maybe put like a stringing material, like maybe leather or faux leather, or just something so that, if you guys, it's just something to think about. If you guys are working with sterling silver, and I know a lot of you do, I know I do, and that would be a really like great way to like extend your supply line just by adding like knotted elements on like cord, or, it could be leather, silk, just anything. I think it would like actually, like help people save a lot of money. But very cute necklace. It just got my creative like vision for like how to save money, especially for those of you that are working with sterling silver. Anyway, thank you guys. That is everything on today's show. And if you have anything you'd like to send in, make sure and send it to the Knotty-Do-It-All at gmail.com the Tuesday before the show. All right. If you guys know of any like silversmiths that are like honestly like freaking out, because they are. I've got a lot of friends that are silversmiths and they are turning to string materials. And I want to show you like a couple of the things that, whoa, hang on. Let me, 1 second here. Let me get that off. Okay. Let me zoom out. A couple of things that I made like over the years that incorporated like stringing material. Let me fix this. Boom. Okay. Because of these pieces here, I incorporated like sterling silver and like silversmith like stuff. So you could take your pendant and just put like, instead of doing it all chain, you could do like partial chain, and then
you know, put your slide knot on the end. And I mean, of course I would put accent beads. I just haven't finished this one. But the idea is that it will save you a lot of money. I mean, this, if I had used this chain to do the whole necklace, it probably would have cost me $100 more. That's how expensive sterling is. So, and then you can, and then add, you know, beads going up the side like this. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do to like, you know, just make the pieces interesting without like looking like you're trying to like, you know, skimp out on silver, which I know a lot of people, I don't blame them. But anyway, we're going to do today's project. Let me scoop my mat over. Hang on a second. Let me zoom in right there. I want to talk about a couple of things. Okay, I'm going to do the earrings first, which are, because these probably are like the trickiest. And I'm also going to show you how to make your own ear wire. I make my own ear wire. It saves me a lot of money, and believe it or not, it's incredibly easy. And I'm going to give you every single tip I have so that you will be 100% successful every single time. And honestly, the number one thing for me is like, I mean, I'll explain this in a minute, is just get like a tube and like anything. And I think this is this is about 1 7/8 inches. And I've made so many ear wires like over the year. And, you know, I'm not one to where, I mean, unless your ear wire is going to be part of the design, I wouldn't like, you know, like worry about like, you know, it's just a basic ear wire, you know? And most of the time, that's what you need. I mean, I've made some that were like, I mean, purposely they were like long and skinny, but that's because the ear wire was a big part of the design. But if you want something just real basic, I'm going to show you how I do this. So this really helps cut like perfectly like even pieces every single time, because when you're cutting, let's say if you measure it like, and then you cut 1 inch and then you use this to move it over and cut another inch, each one's going to get progressively longer. And I rely on this little guy so much that I put a tile on it, or you can put any kind of device, because this thing gets lost. Well, it used to get lost so easily, but I use it all the time. And, you know, I don't want to have to like go back and like cut another one every time I lose this. So I just decided to be proactive, and I put like a tile on this because I use it, but this is something that's like easily lost. So the idea is you just take your wire and you just slide it in just like this. And then I like kind of tap it backwards. Just like that. And then you take your wire and let me know your cutters. Let me see, where are my beautiful flush cutters? I guess I don't have them here. Well, I'll use these. Just come in here and just give it like a little bite, but don't forget to pull it out, because otherwise it'll get stuck in the tube. And see, you want the flat side. You want at least one flat side. That's very important. So I'm going to do the other one. So I'm going to put this in the tube. I don't know who here makes their own ear wire. I know Laura Lee does. And then I'm going to come in here and cut. I'm going to give it a bite, pull it out, and then cut. The nice and flush. I'm using 18 gauge here, but for ear wire, I have used 18, 19, 20, and as thin as 22. Oh, okay, good for you. Oh, good for you. Good for you guys. I mean, and it's pretty easy, right? Then the mandrel size that I like to use, I measured this. This is a 19 millimeter, and so you take your, you know, your piece of wire and just try to like center it as best you can, you know, just like this. Pretty simple. And then you start just like bend on one side and then the other, because what you want to do is get the ends to like meet up perfectly. So if one looks like it's getting a little further ahead of the other, then you just kind of like switch gears. And so that's what you're, you know, kind of going for, just like that. And then you want to look for the flush cut side, because that is the side that we are going to curl up into the ear wire. So this, man, I don't know what this is. Let me measure it, because I've got like a very like specific like formula. Okay, this one is about 2 millimeters. Okay. So what I do is this is probably the most like important part, because you want this end like to almost hit this part, because it just makes it look very professional. And then you just like look at it, like see how I'm looking at the top, and I'm going to keep scooting it back right there till I can't see the end anymore. And then I'm going to roll it towards me. So I'm going to put my finger right there, and I'm just going to twirl, twirl, and boom, there you have it. Isn't that nice looking? And then the next thing I do is I just take some sandpaper, and I'm gonna like round that up, because metal, you can sand it. It's kind of like, I don't know, like you can sand it, and you just want to make sure it's like it doesn't like stab your ears. See that little like stabby thing is gone. And normally I would probably round them more by tilting it and twisting it, and so forth. And then another thing that I like to do, hang on guys, my nose is running. Oh, hang on. I like to put them back on this mandrel here. Just like hold it and just kind of like nudge it back to where it's like touching. And the reason I do that is because I'm going to have to hammer it in just a sec. Okay. And then not these guys. Let's get these. And I always like bend this end just a tad. And it doesn't matter like what size you use, as long as you're consistent. Like I try to be consistent. So what I do is I make a bunch of like ear wire, like all at the same time. So that way when, if I make a pair of earrings, I don't have to like stop and then cut wire and then like roll it. I just cut a bunch of pieces and just make it a day. Like, I don't know, it doesn't take that long, maybe like a couple of hours just to get them done. So that's what I do. And then the next thing you want to do is take a block. Hang on, let me move this over. And I like to hammer it. Let's see, this is, I like not the, you want to use the rounded side, because I like to get like and it gives it a nice like texture. Let me kind of like, and it also really important, another thing that like this does is it hardens the ear wire. Have you guys ever had like an ear wire where when you try to put it on and open it a little bit, it kind of like just like gets all like really open and weird. So what you do is don't not too hard, just light taps. I mean, because one thing that you don't want the part that's going into your ear to get like so flat that it's like so wide that when you put it on you can't get it like in your ear, because that's happened to me like back in the day when I first started. So you just want to like mostly like tap 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 tap, just to get it hardened right around those like edges. And then the part that I really will give a couple of good like whacks to are the ends, because I like that paddle look. And then I'll come in and do it on this part. I just do it like less but more forceful. And to fix that gap, that's easy. So when you put your like jump ring in there, you just kind of pull towards the back. I mean, push it. And then when you bring it towards the front, it just like, it meets up, and there you have it. It's perfect. I usually use a sterling silver wire. And I mean, just experiment with the wire that you like. 'Cause, oh my gosh, silver's so expensive right now, guys. I'm like scrounging to like come up with another plan. Okay, so now that we've got the ear wire made, we are going to make the earring. Okay, I'm using Hawaiian twist in the 1.1 because these beads had pretty big size holes. Unfortunately, okay, I am not, I mean, I don't have an extra strand to make like a new set, so I'm going to substitute pearls, but just pretend they're the garnets because I didn't have an extra set of the strand of the garnets, and these were so pretty that I didn't want to take them apart because it would be like so you understand. So I'm going to use the beige here. Okay. And this cord is one that I make here in my studio. It's very densely twisted. It's very similar to Griffin, except this one is made with an extremely waterproof material, and it's very, very tightly woven. So what that means for you is that it's more durable. It's like if you're one of like these people that like I will make like a bracelet. Oh yeah, you know what? Actually, you know what? Let me stop for a minute. I don't know if it's pronounced hessonite or heathonite, but these are that kind of garnet, and this is too. I just want to let you know that that's like most people think that garnets are red, but there are the orange variety. But so back to this, it's very strong. It's waterproof. I mean, as an experiment, I left some in a bottle of salt water for 3 months, and it didn't affect it one bit. Whereas with the silk cord, because I do like the Griffin silk and also their nylon, but it does take more of a beating. This one, see how it's got a fold on one end, so you will need to put your own leadered needle, because a lot of times on the, I mean, maybe not so much with these beads, but quite often I, even on the Griffin, when I'm trying to put the bead on, it's the needle. Believe it or not, this is the problem. So sometimes I cut off the needle, put the fishing line in, and it solves the problem. So that's really, really cool. So so I'm gonna get my leadered needle on here. So let me just move this. So what you do is I'm just gonna hold this and I'm gonna twist. And this is not something that JTV sells. I mean, this is something that, and yeah. So I'm going to find my leadered needle. Let's get this going. And if you don't know what a leadered needle is, it's fishing line with I put like a beading needle. So my general go-to is like either a 4-pound or a 6-pound fishing line. And then the needle is usually a John James like 12. For extremely thin thread, I do have to use a thinner needle. Oh, and when I make the knot on the end of this, you have to do like a double twist. Don't just go like that and then do a regular overhand knot. You need to like twist it twice, because otherwise the knot will slip, and for some reason a double knot does not slip. So let me get my needle. Okay, so I am going to use these pearls, and we're doing the earrings. So this, okay, the order of operations is we're gonna do something like similar to this earring here. So let me move this stuff out of the way. Okay, so you got to put the pearl on and then the jump ring. Very important. Pearl, jump ring, pearl. Okay, and we're going to slide it all the way down. And this, I mean, I know that I've got a couple of other, like, ways of making the earrings, but this one, oh, why did I see, I'm spacing out. I put two jump rings. I meant, hang on, let me get that one off. Whoops. Yep, let me get that off. It's because so you don't waste any cord, because I know sometimes, if you think so, you're going to have like a ton of something forever, you don't mind being a little bit careless, but then someday when they stop making it or it's no longer available, which, guys, it's sadly happened to me. Because there was this one stringy material that I loved. I thought it would be around forever. And then one day it was gone, and I have like only a couple of spools left. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to put a knot in, especially for the earrings. Okay, let me explain. I like to use this thing because you want to get it like extremely precise. I've tried like making the earrings, just, kind of like eyeballing it, like using, a ruler or something. And the slightest, like even like a millimeter off, you can see it. And, for some reason, I mean, I have a hard time making earrings because I want them to be exactly the same. And it's a little bit tougher when the design's more complex and like maybe sticking a beaded ear wire on there. So I try to keep that in mind, like just precision. So this is spaced 2 inches apart. I really cranked it down. And since I do make a lot of earrings that are like this, I just, keep this permanently, set. And then I just, have another one that I use. So that way, so you want to put, oh, you know what? Let's make the knot first. Oh, thank you, Pat. Let me hurry up. Ooh. Get this on here. Put this here. And I'm going to I'm going to put my finger on here because I want to like pull it nice and tight. Okay. See that? Super, super tight. Okay. And one thing I like to do, because I like really like tight knots. I think I showed you guys this last week, where you could take one of these guys and then just, it really helps. Like, I mean, if you know, because sometimes you're like, oh, you need the knot to be a little bit tighter, and it just, won't. So now we get this one, so 2 inches, and then I'm going to make this one here, and I'm going to use a knotting awl. Because I want it to be like super duper. Actually, you know what's even better? I'll tell you what's even better. My backwards method, because I change things up depending like on like what I'm doing. Hang on, guys, my nose. Oh. So this one is really not. This is a good one. So you just flip it, bring it over, and then just like slide it towards you, just like that. And then you could take that tool. Where is it? This guy, to help tighten it. I mean, you could do it by hand, but this really gets it tight. And then just pull it. Now we need to, the one thing about this the particular stringy material, since it's a lot denser, like you're like, well, why does that matter? Because the denser it's twisted, the better a slide knot will perform on it. I never put slide knots on Griffin because I love Griffin, don't get me wrong, but it does not take a slide knot well, because when you put the slide knot on it, the threads, they just just get mushed apart, and then pretty soon it's going to look really bad. But this one, since the density is so tight, it takes the knot well. However, you got to be really careful, because if you cut it without like putting another knot to like, let me zoom out here a little bit. It'll just like poof apart. So I'm gonna like secure this side right here with another knot. Maybe I should have left a little more space, but because you want it to, what, I'll just do another one. But ideally, you want to leave enough of a clearance for, hang on, let me get this, so that you can make two like, burned ends. I never like to use the word burned. I like melted. I mean, technically, I guess you're burning the ends, but I just don't like that. A stop knot. Okay, so this is what you're going to make. You're going to have a little piece like this. Okay, let's put that aside. Now we need to make the other part. I'm going to make another knot because that one isn't going to like work out for me. So I'm going to tighten. Especially if you have long nails. I mean, that, making those knots really tight can be like a big problem. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to cut this and melt it. Okay. And I think I did it 5 inches, but I'm going to because for the for these earrings here, I know that the first one I did a 2-inch gap, and then for the second, because we're going to have to make another one, but it's going to have to be different. But I'm going to show you how to eyeball it and then take note, because for every bead it's different. So for this particular one, it was the short one was like 2, and then I had to do like the same thing except a 5-incher. So let's get that on. Okay, now we're going to put the bead, and then we're going to go back through this ring, and then another bead. All right, so bead, ring, and bead. And there are a couple of ways that you can approach this. Let me see what I got here. Hang on. The easy way, like after we fit, let me do this side first, and then so I'm going to do an overhand knot right there, and I'm going to take this and okay, so this is going to be the trickiest part. Is you gotta, I mean, I can't like hold it upright because the board's facing down, but what you want to do is decide like where okay, so see how, let me move this. You don't want the pearls to overlap. You want to just kind of like position them to where that's still a little too much, about right there. Okay. So you're going to do that to the 2-inch one. See that? Perfect. So now the next one, okay, you've already did that one knot. Now what we need to do, I think I'm going to put a clip just to be on the safe side, because I don't want it to budge, because man, that thing budges a little bit and you just like feel like your entire design is like off. Let me grab a little tiny clip. Okay. Right there. Okay. So now what you do is you take, oh, see, I think the clip's going to be a problem. Is it? Ah, see, that's like this design can be tricky. Well, you know what? I'm just going to use my fingers. I'm going to just pinch it right here. And then I'm going to pull this until this one is like right on the bottom. Okay, so I use your fingers because obviously the clip didn't work. So you're going to line it to where that one is like right there, because you want them to be like tiered. So there we go. So that's good. Let's tweak this one. Okay. This is the hard way to do it. I mean, this is the more challenging way to do it, which I'm going to show you. Because now we got to get a moose knot on there. So you don't want to do the last one yet. We're going to try to get that moose knot around all these. And that is very tricky, guys. Okay, so we're going to do it. The other option that I did with this one, I mean, in case it kind of drives you like crazy to do the moose knot, I did like a macrame binding knot. So, all right. I am going to, now I'm going to like put this here. I'm going to hold it and I'm going to clip it because I don't want those to, did I clip it? Oh, no, no, no. Hang on. I'm going to hang it. Let me put it on the board. I did something else. Okay, so I think I took a scrap. Let me see if this fits in the, sometimes if the ring will fit like right into the clip. Okay, that's good. Okay, now we have to like clip these guys here. So I'm going to get a clip and put it pretty close. That's like what I'm telling you, this could be a little bit tricky because you don't have a lot of space to work with. Okay, so we're going to clip that. Okay. You guys see that? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that one strand, which is this one. And I'm going to make the moose knot like very, very carefully. So let's see. What do I got for mandrels? Huh. Because remember this cord here already has a leadered needle on it. So you can use a smaller mandrel than the, I shouldn't have put this pearl on yet. Let me get it off. So nix that. Don't put the last pearl on yet. I mean, one nice thing about, oh my gosh. Okay, let's get this off. Let me see, what do I got here that's skinny? Huh. You know what, I'll just use, I guess, a needle from the board. Why not? All right, oh, 10, God, I can't believe 10 minutes. Okay, so I think if anything, this will be the lesson, because I don't think we'll have time for the other ones, but I've got lessons on my website that like talks about exactly that. Okay, so guys, this one is different. Okay, because I am going to, can you see what I'm doing? Should I tilt the board? Maybe I should, let me try. I don't guarantee that it's going to work, but I'll try it. Well, no. Maybe the camera angle? Nope. Okay, I can't change it. Okay, so take your needle and then as close as you can, just use this entire strand. So there's loop number 1. And see how I'm doing it like really, really close to the ring? There's the loop number 2. And let's get this. And then I'm gonna make a 3rd loop. And see how I'm using my pinky finger to like pop it through? It really helps. And there's the 3rd loop. Bye, Pat. Oh, thank you for being my timekeeper. Susanna, thank you. The heat is on. Ooh. So 1, 2, okay, and is that 3? You know what? I think I need to go one more. Yeah, one more, because you want 3 complete loops. I mean, this, honestly, it took me a while to like get used to it. But, you know, it is doable. Okay, so let's get this. And one thing about stringy material, I mean, oh my gosh, hang on, guys. Oh, let's get this all the way through. All right. Okay, now this part's really important. So you hold it, don't let your finger off. So you're going to take that needle out, make sure you've got your 3 loops, and then you take your like leader needle and you just put it right through those little loops right there, and then pull it through. And let me, and you know, it's funny because these earrings, they seem like they're pretty like quick to make, but I mean, they could be like a little bit time consuming. Okay, so now don't pull anything, because what you need to do is like twist this, because you want it, you want that knot to be as close. If you could get your fingers in there. So you just want to like, I know, right? And so just keep twisting and then pulling. And so that kind of like helps get it like a little snug. Oh my gosh, hang on guys, my nose. Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now that we've got that done, pull it nice and tight. And now we're going to do our last knot. And I look at it, see they're all like nice and tiered, and then I'm going to put a clip right about there. Okay, let's take a look one more time, because you got one shot at this right here. So I'm going to put the clip right there. See how like every time you make a knot, oh, thank you, Ella. Thank you, everybody that's blessing me. Sometimes you just gotta, it's kind of like driving a car, you know, like first you do one way. Sometimes you backward knot. Sometimes you use an awl. Sometimes you forward knot. So it's just like these little like things that you do differently. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to like tighten that. And now I'm going to put my other pearl. Oh my gosh. I didn't think the earring would take up the whole lesson, but I guess when you're trying to explain what you're doing, I can see where that can happen. But you know, if you're interested, like I've got lessons on my website, like, you know, like and tips and tricks and just like, you know, how to measure, you know, a simple bracelet like that. Okay, remember you got to do two knots. The one on that side. Where's my thingies? Okay. See, that's what you want. You don't want when you put knots in, and besides things like this, you don't want any like give, because give will come on its own. I don't know how to explain it, but over time, and I mean, the closer and the more snug you have it, the less likely it will like be. And a lot of people some cord stretches, but believe it or not, most of the time the spacing over time that happens is because the knots weren't initially tight enough. So, as time goes by, they keep tightening, and so they produce like spaces. So this one is perfect. I'm going to cut that and take my lighter. Okay. Tap, tap. Oh, ow. Okay, so now, and if you see how now it's like perfectly like tiered. Ooh, perfect. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And now where is my ear wire? This is so pretty. Ooh, it's nice and simple. And another thing I like about making my own ear wire, let's say if one day comes and, I mean, there's like umpteenth reasons. Like number one, let's say you lose one of your earrings, look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's perfect. And oh, hang on. Oh my goodness. If you lose one of your earrings and then you have the ear wire, but you don't have the materials to make another one, just take the ear wire off. Because I used to do the wire wrap ear wires where like real fancy with the wire wrapping and everything. And it got to like, if I'm famous for losing earrings. I've got a whole like rack over there of one earring, and sometimes even like years and years later, the second one will just like appear out of nowhere. But I'm famous. So when I make earrings, I make these days I make like 4 or 5 of them. So if I lose any, I won't be sad. And actually, I got into making earrings because I went to it was a JTV live show, and I lost one of my favorite earrings there. And it was, it was a wire thing, and that's how come, I started getting into wire, which I really, really like. Let me see, any questions? I know, honestly, it is a very beautiful set. I wonder, can someone check to see if they've sold out of the garnets? I bet they're gone, Gone, because they really are just like really pretty. And on this one, I really like how the silk, for some reason, when I was trying to come up with just the combination of, beads, I did not think for a second at all that I was going to like it. But I thought, you know what, just do it. Sometimes I can't, I'm not one of the type that can draw it out, because I know some people can do that and then envision how it's going to look. I literally have to do it. And not only that, I have to have the knots in there. I can't just put them on there and then pretend like the knots are there. My brain does not work that way. But when I got these on, and I just thought it looked so perfect. And then this little thing, I kid you not, take your old jewelry and look for little parts and stuff that you want to recycle. And then, it came out so cute. And and then the earring, and what I used for the macrame slide knot on this, because you can use faux leather, but I decided to experiment with Eslon 400, and that's what I used here. And it's not bad, I like it. So either the faux leather or like the Eslon 400. And the reason, why did I pick it? Because it just matched. It was a very close match. And honestly, probably the real reason is because it was probably the closest thing to me, because I like either faux leather for the slide knots, or or just sometimes just different materials, and sometimes it just doesn't matter. You like them equally the same, so you just pick whatever's closest to you. Anyway, is my time up? Oh, I've got how much? It is 10:59. Anyway, I hope you found this lesson to be informative. I feel like it took longer than it should, but I hope that I explained all the really important steps. Don't forget if you're using the Hawaiian twist cord to make 2 knots before you cut, so that you could you have the first knot on the second part. Make sure and rewatch the lesson in case you missed any like tips or tricks. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye.